What is up, guys? Welcome back to Mainly Movies, the channel where we talk about, well, mainly movies. So I apologise for not making a video the past couple of weeks. I've had a problem with my ear. I couldn't really hear out of it, and it was really annoying. I couldn't really hear myself speak. But I saw a whole bunch of movies that I'm going to review. So the first movie I'm going to review is the new Martin Scorsese film, The Irishman, starring Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci. The story follows Frank Sherman and the different stages of his life. We get to witness the crimes he commits and the friends he meets along the way.
What happened?
Now, this was a really great film. I was really, I wouldn't say surprised, because I kind of knew Scorsese was making a project that he was passionate about, and that's pretty much all of his projects. Even his movies that aren't really the best, like Gangs of New York or Hugo, those movies that weren't the best, they were still projects that he was passionate about, and they still have some sort of good to them. But this film kind of, in a way, it feels like the third movie in a trilogy of Goodfellas and Casino. That's why I have them up here. But it kind of feels like it's like the finisher of like a trilogy with those actors in it. That's why I really liked this film, because it has that same dynamic that those movies did, and I mean, I love those movies, and that's why I really liked this film. Pesci, De Niro, and especially Al Pacino, their performances were really good in this movie. Al Pacino blew it away. His character was so back-chatty and talkative, and he was the power behind this movie, and he was so good. His character just kind of blew it away for me. Like, he was unbelievably good in this movie. I don't think I've seen a good performance from him since, I don't know, Serpico or Dog Day Afternoon, maybe even Scarface, you know? And it's amazing to watch Al Pacino kick ass again, like, just acting wise. The cinematography in this movie also looks really good. The movie looks really good. There's these kind of super slow-mo shots that happen every now and then that are really good. You also have those shots that kind of really, the crane that really comes in, and it just expresses a lot of feeling. Like, his camera work just expresses a lot of feeling, and it just looks really good. Just the directing as well. Martin Scorsese, his directing in all of his movies are shown, and they're shown to be brilliant, and this movie shows that as well. Now, a lot of people complain about the length. I thought the length was perfect. It didn't feel like 3.5 hours long. I sat down in my back room, watched it on Netflix, and it just felt like maybe even 2 hours. That's about it. It's because the scenes kind of go on really fast that it just immerses you and takes you into the film, and you feel like you're just kind of eavesdropping on all these people talking about different things, the different stages of Frank Sherman's life when you see him young and all that. And by the way, the CGI didn't really bother me that much. At first, when I first saw the war, when it cuts back to him in, I think it's World War II, and he's really young, at first I was kind of, you know, taken back by that. I was like, okay. But then it kind of hit me, and I realized that it's actually not as bad, and I got used to it. And that's what a lot of people are saying, you know, they got used to it, and it kind of does look really impressive in some parts. So this movie was really good. There was one kind of complaint that I had, and this is kind of a complaint I have with these two movies. It's not so much a complaint, it's something that I notice a lot with those movies. They're long. These films, like, I'm just gonna call it like a trilogy, but the trilogy of these three movies, so Goodfellas, Casino, and The Irishman, they're long movies. So they're really fast. Their pacing is really fast. But there's a certain part in the film with all three of these films. It's usually around the ending of the second act and beginning to get into the third act that it really slows down, and that's when the character becomes a bit vulnerable, and the movie kind of slows down a bit, and this movie has it. And because this is probably the longest out of the three, it's 3.5 hours long, around the 2 hours and 40 minute mark to about 3 hours, it just takes a massive slow point in the movie, and with a movie which is so fastly paced, I don't even know if that's a word, but a movie that's so fast paced that it's very noticeable when a scene slows down, the scenes take their time, and it just kind of really slowed down for me. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints with this film. It is a great Scorsese film. It's up there with some of the best. It's definitely better than Gangs of New York and Hugo, and like I said, I consider it like a trilogy now because they kind of have the same sort of feeling. If you're a fan of Martin Scorsese and you haven't yet seen The Irishman, which you probably have if you're a fan of Scorsese, it's been out for a couple of weeks, but if you haven't seen The Irishman, I definitely recommend it. It's a long movie, but it doesn't really feel long except when you get to that kind of 2 hours and 40 minute to 3 hour mark. That's when it kind of slows down a little bit. But besides that 20 minutes, it's a really fast-paced film, and I really enjoyed it. Which is why I'm going to give The Irishman a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of Martin Scorsese, that's probably why I liked it. I'm a bit biased towards Scorsese. But overall, it was a fantastic movie and a fantastic watch. So I highly recommend The Irishman. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time.